Hi guys, it's your librarian, Mrs. Main, and this week is the week of April the 19th. April 22nd is Earth Day, and it's Poetry Month. And this is a great time to think about planting a garden, doing composting. We have a great garden here at Kaiser that needs a lot of compost. So go ahead and read our newsletter and bring in some compost stuff like old newspapers and cardboard and that kind of stuff. But today, I want to show you this great book. It's called Dreaming Up, a celebration of building. It's by Christy Hale. Now, this is a great book because it talks about concrete poetry. Concrete poetry is when you design a poem based on an object or a building that you really love. And I want to show you a couple of hers. Let's do one for now. Let's see here. If you look at this one right here, see these two tall skyscrapers? And you look at the picture of the little boys and see how they're building cups, that they're fat at the base and they narrow as you go up to the top. And look what they're building. So they're fat base and narrow at the top. If you notice the clouds, what in the picture of the little boys shows you that they're sitting on a cloud? Oh, you're right. And look, their pajamas look like skies. Now, concrete poetry looks like the object that you're writing about, right? That theme. So, in this case, they're writing cup on cup, stacking up. Smaller, smaller, and growing taller. See, as you rise, the cups are growing smaller at the top. Now, we always read poetry top down, left to right. So when you're thinking about building your own poetry tower, you're going to think about top down, left to right. Let's look at another one. Here. This is one of my favorites. I love sandcastles. This is this beautiful church that's deteriorating right here. It's built all of sand. Now, in her poem, Miss Hale, see how she's built a sandcastle? It's got little sea glass in it. And she says, fluid with water, towers twist high, sparkle with sea glass, treasures and shells. You see how each of the word streams, each stanza, is vertical and it flows just like the sandcastle's towers and the original piece's towers. And at the end she says, tells what it is. It's a sandcastle. So today, guys, we're going to be using our poetry cards that are found in our lesson for 2nd grade this week. But anybody can do it. It's so much fun. These are our word cards. And what we did is we cut them out. If you don't have a printer at home, no problem. If you have index cards, that'll work. If you have tough construction paper, that'll work. And then you're going to use some straws. Okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay out my cards so that I can kind of organize my poem. If you want to be surprised and just put the cards up and then write a poem from that, that's perfectly fine too. I'm going to turn my computer. Hopefully you can see what I've laid out. Now I have dirt, plant, surprise, high in the light, bring new blossoms where from the bird's bud. So in order to make this top down, left to right, I'm going to start with my bottom letters, or my bottom words. So dirt at the top. So I'm going to start with where, from, birds, and bud. And remember, we're going to start always left to right when we're reading poetry, just like when we're reading a book. So I'm going to take my straw. And I'm going to cut about a thumb's length off the straw. Please don't cut your thumbs. These are very, very sharp scissors. So I'm going to cut right about here. And you're going to hold on to the top piece. It's going to go flying. There we go. Now, the next step is really, really important. Okay, when you have your little piece of straw, you're going to put your scissors inside the straw. Okay? You're going to reach probably about maybe a quarter's way. So I would say a little bit bigger than from your fingernail to your knuckle. Okay, from your fingernail at the top to your knuckle right here. You're going to cut in Now, don't cut it all the way off, because yours is standing like this. You're going to turn it around till it faces the opposite side of the cut. Okay, and you're going to cut again. Now, see how I have it spaced? Woo. Okay, so this is very important. This will help you make your tower stand up. So you see where you cut it? You're going to cut the opposite side that's not cut the same way you cut the previous side. So you want to make sure that your cuts line up. This is why it's probably better to use line straws with the little lines on them, like the red, the green, the blue. But here we go. I'm going to do my best. So remember to cut from your top of your fingernail to your knuckle to give it enough room to hold, and then turn it over and do the same thing again. Make sure you don't cut it all the way through. So now you have two sides that have slits in them. You're going to take your first card that's going on the left-hand side, and you're going to put it like this. Stick it right through those slits that you cut. Then you're going to take your second card, and you're going to put it in the slits, just like that. So now you have two cards. Okay? So the straws are our glue. They're holding them together when we build our tower. Now, my question is, I always want to make sure my tower is stable, so I need to have corners, right? And I need to make sure that most of my straws, there we go, are the same size. So it might benefit you, if you have trouble like I do, to cut your straws first and then put your tower together. But I'm going to, again, measure from my thumbnail to my knuckle, cut up, and then I just want to keep my scissors in there actually, and then turn it over and cut the same way again. And then I'm going to do the other side. Make sure my cuts line up, because if they don't, it'll be really an unstable tower, and we want to make sure it's stable. So now I have where from, right? Where from. So I want to make sure that I put my new straw right here. So now I have where, from, and then straw. So now we said something about corners, right? So you take your corner piece, right here, mine is birds, and I'm going to fold it in half like a hot dog or a taco. Okay? Boop. So this is birds. I fold it in half so it looks like this. Make it sure it's really crisp. And then I'm going to hook it to the top just like that. So now when I turn it, I have where from and birds is my corner piece. Okay? So once I have that, I'm going to use my next straw. I'm going to cut the length of my thumb. Please don't cut your thumb, and hold the top of it. Cut it so you have this. Cut up, remember, to about the knuckle to the tip of your fingernail, and turn over and do the same thing. And then do the other side. Be very careful, because I know my scissors are really sharp, and we don't want any injuries. Okay, so now I have my cut, and I'm going to put my new straw holder slit into birds. I'm going to take my next card, and this is going to be Bud. So I'm going to turn Bud right in there. Now, what if I don't want my tower to be this big? Well, I can take my where out, and I can fold it like this, and I can push it in so it makes another, instead of being straight, it makes another corner. So now it looks like this. Okay? Alright, so you guys continue, and I'm going to work on my first level. Alright? See you in a minute. Alright guys, so once you started picking your words and you have them all cut out, this is what your end should look like. Okay? And it's really easy to break. So Make sure to pick it up with 2 hands or put a piece of paper or cardboard underneath it to hold it together. If you're doing this at home and you're not sharing cards, then you can actually tape them together if you like. So this is kind of what it will look like when you're done with the first level. Okay? There we go. Now, if you want to continue and make a bigger level, like a double level, this is a good idea that you can do. And this is a kind of a 2.5 level poem tower. As you can see, if you move it around, you can read poems from each side. Remember that we read poems top down and left to right. So this was kind of accidental on my part, but I have sprout, bloom, little pink, plant, sun, seed. Okay, and then the next poem goes, flower, grass, soft bloom, bright green plant. And onward. So you read from the top down and left to right. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is how you make a poem tower. And then you're going to get a piece of paper and write down your poem, and we'd love to see them. Alright, have a great day. Bye!